Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. So please help me welcome David from Tarot by the Bay,
Hello, everyone.
Mary from Twin Tarot. Welcome to Taco Tuesday. And look who's joining us. Look who's
It's the queen herself. I saw the royal wave.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So thank you, all of you that are jumping on. So glad that you could join us. And some of you may not have realized that David and I started doing Taco Tuesdays on June the 2nd, 2023.
Yeah, whoa.
2023. So every 2 weeks, we have the Taco Tuesday show. And it's just, we read on politics. We have tarot cards. We're not afraid to use them.
Step back. I'll use the tarot cards.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And if you don't want to be featured on our show, don't do stupid stuff.
Yes.
For all the politicians watching this.
Oh, now I'm in such a mood for tacos.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. So you guys, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I do have the boys' information in the description of the video, as well as Linda's page on. And if you don't know who Linda G is, what rock have you been under? Yeah, Linda is the fairy dust maker in the group. She comes into a chat and she sprinkles fairy dust, and wonderful things happen.
It's my honor. It's my honor to, if I can get more people to watch. I think that's one of the attractions to me, because I like to collab. I like to get other people. I like to start. Even Sterling, I got him to start a YouTube channel.
Yes, perfect.
Keep going.
And I do. I saw the video that you did with Trish James.
Oh yeah, she's lovely.
Isn't she just adorable?
She's wonderful.
It was funny. In your
deck of cards.
Yes.
What, David?
I was going to say, I was listening to your video that you put up this morning, and I think you initially referred to her as Tish James. It's like, what? Right on! Yeah, we're gonna get the gal from New York over there. That's gonna be a show.
This morning, the show I did with Violetta, I was looking forward to it, and I was feeling really under. Like, I don't know. I was just telling these guys. I was just telling the girls. I think I have a bladder infection or something, because rough, So I took my medicine. I have some Southern tea here, and with bourbon. And no, I'm just kidding. And I'm ready to go.
Yes, perfect. So someone asked if we were taking political or personal questions. We're not taking personal questions. And we're really not taking political questions either, because I did have a few people who asked questions when I posted the thumbnail for the show that we were doing. And then generally, I will usually come up with some questions on current news and so on. And that's what we generally read on. So what's in the news right now? Big news is, between Iran and Iraq, Israel and Iran. Please, let's not get another country involved in that. So what I was reading earlier was that back in March, Tulsi Gabbard was in front of Congress, and she said that based on current information that they had and the spy networks and so on, that no, Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon. Trump decided he didn't believe her. So now his involvement in all this has brought up a couple questions that I really would like us to take a look at.
And
And
can I add an addendum to that?
of course,
Netanyahu also went before the Senate and said that Iraq had a nuclear bomb. They had made a nuclear bomb. He was totally lying.
Yeah.
And they have cut her out. She's not allowed to go to Camp David or anything. Right now,
Really?
she's been given the cold shoulder. And she
Isn't that
said, if he goes to war with Iran, I'm stepping down.
okay, that'll do it. That'll do it. Because the question that I had that we can look at is, was the attack on Iran agreed upon by Trump, Netanyahu, and Putin? Because each one has got skin in the game and each one has got something to lose.
But I thought Putin doesn't want him to attack Iran.
Can I jump in on this one?
Yeah.
I was watching a TikTok today by a creator named Mr. Global. He's a fairly conservative gentleman, but he's in the oil and gas industry, and he puts out a lot of very informative TikTok on the oil and gas industry. And he's been explaining why drill baby drill won't work, so on and so forth. He was explaining that Russia, for the past several years, has been trying to sell natural gas to Turkey and Iraq. They've been trying to get into the Iraqi market. And especially with the embargo in place on Russian oil, Russian natural gas sales are helping supplement the economy and keeping the war effort going. When Israel attacked Iran, and Iran's the primary supplier of natural gas to that area, including Iraq. When Israel attacked, they decimated Iran's natural gas abilities. I don't know if it's the actual fields or the ability to refine it or transfer it, but they attacked that infrastructure, which means that Iran's not going to be able to sell natural gas to Iraq, which now opens up that market for Russia. And that's going to get money flowing into Russia. My internet might be unstable.
And may I also mention there's a huge explosion in Israel, and they bombed one of their big oil places, one of their big oil
refineries.
Iran announced that the Ides of God is coming to Israel. Look out. There's going to be huge. You know what's amazing? There's 7 million people in Israel, and there's 77 million people in Iran.
Yeah.
So me and Violetta were saying they can just go fisticuffs and go in there and fight person to person.
Yeah.
10-1.
Yeah, they sure can. So, what I got was they, and of course, all of them are saying that they're not interested in Trump in particular. No, don't want to start a war, but we want Iran to surrender unconditionally. They are the injured party. If this was a divorce, they are the injured party. So, you can't say. What I have is that, they are trying, this is a facade of goodwill. They're trying to act like they're in there to come up with something peaceful. They're going to work on it, because for each one of them, Trump, Netanyahu, and Putin, there's beneficial benefit in that. Each one can walk away with something. Unfortunately, there are shifting dynamics. I think that there are other countries that are going to come in and say,
no.
Okay. They're not going to do that.
Marina, I have to jump off and jump back in again. My screen is frozen here.
Oh, okay.
All right. I seem to believe that's why.
Go give me some tacos.
Yes, while you're out.
Hey,
while
Gary.
you're out.
Hi, Linda.
So what do you think is going to happen?
Okay, well, just are the three of them in cahoots? I've got the Knight of Swords as my foundational card.
Yeah.
Rushing into this thing, Israel came crashing in with their bombs. Trump gave them 60 days to come to an agreement. on day 61, the bombs started dropping, right?
Yeah.
And then the main clarifier is the fool. So we've got this new group of people. We're going down a path we've never gone down before. This is kind of a new approach. We've got new messaging coming out and new actions, but they've got a choice. And underneath it, I had the sorrow card. So I wouldn't be surprised if the three of them, at a minimum, were communicating.
Yes.
And Putin might not have prevented this, might not have given Iran a heads up because, like Dave was saying, they have a financial interest in having Iran's energy production shut down with Israel's bombs. And Trump is making very distressing noises about Iran and basically total surrender. They should have taken the deal. I'm not in the mood to negotiate. And he's not saying yes or no about putting boots on the ground.
But he's in the background starting it.
Yes.
Yep. He certainly, he doesn't have a lot of pity for Iran. And he has a lot of love for Netanyahu, right?
Yes.
So right now we're at the choice stage of this.
But I don't know about love for Netanyahu. Doesn't listen to Trump either. He's only using him because he needs those bombs that go in the tunnels.
Well, yeah, because he wants to build up a bunch of resorts and build casinos in Gaza once they get rid of those pesky Palestinians who happen to be in the way of their real estate development.
Yeah, amen.
This just looks like empire carving from like 100, 200 years ago.
Yeah.
That's what it smacks like.
What he's doing to Gaza now, what the hell's if Iran had nukes, they'd be using them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
So what do you see, David?
What's that?
What do you see?
With them?
Well,
Let me throw some cards real quick going on here. Oh God. Well, I might as well do 4 because I looked at it. I've got the Hermit with the Hangman underneath there. I really do not trust Trump on this at all. I'm seeing that he's looking for an emotional victory, but he's always faced with emotional disappointment. He wants to cause chaos and then walk away. I don't think he'll put boots on the ground. I think he wants to, play around with Tomahawk missiles and things along those lines. He just
act like big men on campus.
yes.
Yeah. To the comment Gary was making, remember, Trump is stuck in the mindset of somebody in the 70s and the 80s. He stopped learning about the mid 80s. Yeah. And so what do we remember of Iran from the late 70s? It's going to be the Ayatollah taking a bunch of American hostages. That's why same thing with Cuba. He talks about immigrants being dumped, they're emptying the prisons. That's what Cuba did.
Yeah.
So it's like he just remembers these little factoids and just puts them on modern day stuff. Yes. I don't trust him. I think he's going to involve the U.S. military and maybe not aircraft per se, but I'm sure he'll want missiles launched.
Thank you, Roberta.
Do you think that he won't go through Congress?
He flouts all the rules and conventions anyway. Why wouldn't he?
Well, that's a reason for them to get rid of him.
I think
even he'll piss off the MAGA people, because there's a bunch of MAGA people saying, "Hey, I signed for lower gas and cheaper this or that, but I didn't sign up for this." He starts causing our military to be involved in this, and we lose our men and women. They will get rid of him.
I think my guess is it won't be a declaration of war because that has to come from Congress.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if he maybe has to go through the Gang of 8 to let them know that he plans on launching missiles. Mm-hmm. And that's typically what happens. And I bet you that's where he goes with it. It will be one of those, we're going to launch missiles for 2 to 4 weeks, and then we're going to see where the dust settles after that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And it is entirely possible too that he's yes, he can ignore Congress and just go do what he wants, and then, kind of deal with the fallout. But this could be an opportunity for those in the Republican Party who do not want him around anymore to Article 25 him.
Yeah, yeah. And my cards, I got imprisoned and detained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know who that would be. Or they might take a bunch of the bigwigs with Iran and do that. He said not to kill the Ayatollah.
Yeah.
And, they're not living easy. These people are being treated horribly. They're starving.
Exactly.
So, what is this? Cyclone damage. There's going to be a lot of damage done. I even see a lot of damage to Israel, by the way.
Yes.
I see them getting a what for. And here is underground and hiding.
Yes.
So I think that's Iranians are trying to get out of the way. But
they are, and there's been a lot of people. I was reading earlier that India has advised all of its citizens that are in Tehran or around Tehran to leave. Just make your way to the border with Algeria, but just get out of the way.
Right. Well, there's I knew a lot of Iranian. I have a girlfriend that had a husband in Iran, and the family, and they were back and forth. This was back in the 80s, 90s. So,
yeah, it's not a good situation. And what Trump and Putin and Netanyahu are doing is making it worse.
Yes, and then you got Netanyahu saying, or their military people saying, they're killing citizens. Israeli. Oh yeah, well take a look at Gaza.
Exactly.
Same day, different day.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's interesting because I don't know if Putin's played the tape all the way to the end on this, because Iran supplies a lot of drones to Russia. And they might want to sort of buckle down on their drone and missile supply, because they got their own axe to grind now with Israel.
Right. And they were promised, did you read that they were promised a bunch of missiles from Russia for a bunch of drones?
Yes.
2,000 drones or something. They were promised these missiles, and they never gave them their missiles.
Oh, boy.
They work like Trump,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Overpromise and underdeliver. Yeah. Hello to all of you who have joined us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Libby's in the chat. Mel is in the chat. Kevin is in the
Loving's
chat.
in the chat. Magastar, Tarot.
Woohoo! Nice to her.
Wait, hold on. She just said something. Hold on.
Yeah.
Israel took out the Iran drone facility. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
And Ukraine took out the Russian one.
Yeah.
Yay!
Excellent. Fabulous. Fabulous.
Thank
you for sharing that. That's good news.
Foster. Yay! Sherry, voices from the swamp.
Sherry, nice to see you.
I wrote Sherry and said I can't find the link.
I know.
Sherry, sorry, just dismiss that.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I just
Did you just hear that?
I heard an okay.
Okay.
A man just said okay.
Yes.
There's nothing on the phone.
Okay, cool. It didn't sound like Gary.
A man just said, thank you, Lupe. A man just said, okay.
I heard it.
Yes, I heard it.
Oh my God, I got the chills.
Yes.
What was the question, though?
What were we talking about?
Oh, about the fact, Ukraine took out some Russian things, and wow.
I accidentally asked Sherry for the link. I can't find the link.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Thank you, Rhonda Rue. Yeah, this. Okay.
Because for me, I was just in my mind. I was just thinking, what is the 2-digit abbreviation for the state of Oklahoma?
And
What a waste of spirit! I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people heard it. So, the other question that I have is, is this little incident or whatever we want to call it a way to declare war and suspend elections in the U.S. and Israel?
Mm.
Okay, can I go first?
Absolutely.
I just heard a huge no. I just heard psychically a huge no. Let me tell you what I get. The Americans won't allow it.
Perfect.
He may say, "Oh no, we're we can't." And I see you think those millions was something. Wait till he tries to pull that off.
Yes.
I see him being escorted out of the White House. I've
That-
always seen it in my 2025 too. I believed I heard there was going to be trouble with Iran. Back last, in my 2025 videos, besides seeing all kinds of volcanoes.
Yeah, you know what? I think that could very well be true. Yeah. I think you're right. I get that. Yeah, to declare war and to suspend elections right now would be an economic challenge.
Yeah.
People aren't going to do it, and it would be a failed negotiation. So even if they're thinking about it, it's not going to work.
And look at
You're
this.
right.
Resigns and leaves office.
Oh,
Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen to where they don't have power.
I'll fill in that gap. American oligarchs come in, give him an offer because he's causing them stress and anxiety, and they'll give him an out because they're the king.
I would not doubt that.
You can think of them as being the king. Currently, in our current political system, they're the kingmakers in this country. I hate saying that because I don't want to believe it, but
yes.
the realistic nature is with Citizens United, and we saw what Elon Musk could do with $270 million in some computer code.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you, Mrs. Girl. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Girl. Oh, she's in Tennessee.
Nice.
They got some good food in Tennessee, by the way.
Yes. And Mark Brisbois had posted earlier that No King's Day final count, 13.14 million people.
Holy. They must have professionals that look at the crowd.
I think so.
They had, I think it was the Park Service or something like that. Michelle sent me a text on that one. And that gets above the 3.5% threshold that
yes.
there have been studies that show when you have that much of a spontaneous protest, the current government is doomed. They don't say how quickly, but that they're pretty much doomed.
Yes.
And I think he had 8,000 that showed up at his event.
Oh, something like that.
It wasn't 10,000, it was 8,000.
Yeah, and he was bragging when he arrived in Alberta for G7. He was bragging how there was over 250,000 people who came to the parade, and how the weather people had said that there was 100% chance of rain, and it didn't rain. It didn't rain. So
it was raining, but not as hard as they thought.
It was drizzling.
Yes. Yeah.
And Trudeau got rid of Putin, and Trudeau wasn't even in office.
Exactly. It was Stephen Harper. If you're going to spread the BS, at least make it something that isn't that easy to fact check. Right?
Stephen Harper, Justin Trudeau, what's the difference?
Yes. Yeah. All the same. Yeah. All the same. And
sorry about that.
Thank you, Annette's granddaughter. That is very, very generous and kind of you.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So, what? All right. So we have here that it's not going to be a way to suspend elections. That was one of my worries, because I have always gotten the message that something was going to happen, and that that elections would be suspended. And I've been thinking for the longest time that what it was is that either Trump or Vance, whoever is kind of in charge, would say, look, so much information has come out about the election interference and all kinds of different things. So we need to find out exactly what happened, who was involved, what was going on. As a result, until we get a clear picture of what went on, we're going to suspend elections.
Thank you, Donna.
Yes.
Well,
Thank
it
you.
was stolen. It was stolen. New York's going to have that big thing, and they're going to prove it. And Starlink was involved with it.
Of course. Yeah. So, you know, I hope that I'm wrong. I would take absolutely no pleasure in being right, but it's just something that has stuck with me even before the election. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You know what's interesting about that, Marina? We were watching the coverage of Trump's birthday parade, and my wife made the comment, we're watching this little World War II training tank squeak down the road, and you got like tens of dozens of people in attendance.
Yes.
He's like, how did this guy win the election? Because you look at Joe Biden's rallies and and Kamala Harris's rallies and stuff. It's just like, this does not make sense to me. How did this happen? And my wife is not political at all, and she's even starting to question, this does not make sense.
Exactly.
And the cards I got the Queen of Swords, that a truth is coming out. It's going to cause us to stop and reflect and assess, what do we really value? We've got a big burden to confront, and it's time to take a different action. And right now we have a choice. We're going to have to make a choice.
Yeah.
Quick, let's get Sterling on the call.
Yeah. He's doing really good, by the way. He's doing good.
Excellent.
Perfect. Wonderful.
So,
okay.
Do you want me to look at this, or are we good with
Yes.
this?
No. By all means, please jump in.
And then, I don't know your list of questions, but I would really love if anybody could take a quick look, see if Governor Newsom will win his lawsuit against Trump with the National Guard, even if it goes to Supreme Court.
Yes.
He'll try to put a stop on it, but it's not going to happen. I don't even know if he'll be in office then. I'm almost sensing he's not going to be in office because something major will happen. Communications are all reversed, but here's us being able to get our vote in.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. What'd you get?
Thank you, Ness.
Yeah, David, you already. Yeah.
Yeah, I let off.
Sorry, I just had someone ask how to subscribe to my channel. It's Heart Center Tarot, and if we have and any of the wonderful moderators that are here, yes, please post the channels up for us if you're able to. And we've got 4,060 people in the room right now.
Wow!
Wow! Thank you. So yeah, please subscribe, and then subscribe to Gary and subscribe to David. And if you're from my channel, make sure that you subscribe to all of them as well.
We love you guys. You guys.
That's impressive. That is actually very impressive.
Linda bringing in 3,800 to 4,000.
Ness, who's a very good moderator, I got to get my date. I'm going to have her on my show. She's starting to do astrology herself.
Excellent.
So
Wonderful.
I'll have her on the show and do a little collab, and we'll
Perfect.
see how she does. And I'll be giving her, I don't know if she really wants a YouTube show, but I think she just wants to be a reader with astrology.
Absolutely. We support each other in this community. That's
Yes.
what we do.
Yes.
right? That's what we're best at. So,
But if you want to know good places to eat, talk to Gary and David. They know.
yeah, they got the 411 on that.
Yeah.
And for the person in the comments said my microphone's a bit loud. I turned it down on the settings here. Let me know if I'm still booming over everyone else.
No, you're fine.
No. And okay, Linda, can you say your question again so we can read on it?
On Newsom?
On Newsom, yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I just want to know, will he win his lawsuit, which already went to the courts today? And
Okay.
then, if he loses that, he'll take it to the Supreme Court.
of course.
I feel he's going to win all the way. Even the Supreme Court will say, because even Amy Coney Barrett is constitutionalist. So she'll say it's against the law for you to do that.
Funny enough, I did a reading on that came out today.
Yeah.
Little plug for the Twin Tarot channel. It's funny because the reading really didn't do a whole lot. I know what I got yesterday when I did it, but I'm curious to see what I get today.
And today, Violetta, she doesn't see him as president, but Mel and I do. We think there's a good possibility he could. I think Trump put him in the seat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what? I'm going to say that yes, he does, because this is going to turn out to be a collective action.
Okay.
Meaning that he's not going to be the only one that's going to jump in there, and there's going to be judgmental scrutiny.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah,
Which
someone is going to say,
"What Which ones are those?"
This,
yeah,
this is the governance deck that I'm using.
I have it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll show it to you. Here we are. Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
It's by my new girl crush, Trish James,
Very great.
whose cards are singing like you would not believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. And she will be on my channel this Saturday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Are you guys going to be live?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We sure will. So Linda, if you want to join us, let me know.
This Saturday?
This Saturday.
Let me look at my calendar, but I would love to.
She's a busy girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I'll just get my Southern iced tea out, and I'm ready to go.
Totally.
And I need some tacos.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, what'd you get, David?
I'm getting the 3 of coins and the 10 of wands underneath. I think they're with 3 of the justices. They want to give Trump a victory. They want to support Trump with this, but they can't. It's too hard.
It's too hard.
It's too much of an overreach. But they may try and carve. I think they're going to try and carve out something for him that would give him the ability to do that again on like a temporary basis. Like he could do it for the first 72 hours or 3 weeks.
But he lies when he says some sort of egregious thing is happening. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They won't say no. They won't hand slap him. They'll try and either help him save face or give him a little carve out.
Right.
Because they know nobody else will do.
The Supreme Court, one thing they believe in is states' rights. And he's stepping all over states' rights.
Yeah. Republicans do it when the Democrats are in charge, and when the Republicans in charge, screw state rights. They want to stick to the federal level.
You do what we tell you. You know, Dave, that's exactly the reading I got when I had to go up to the Supreme Court, that it seemed like they're going to do some sort of a carve out, some sort of little compromise to give him kind of a foothold. I wasn't sure what it was going to look like, but it's not going to be a clean no and the cards I've got right now are kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Yes. I never would have thought that in the past. I would have thought the Supreme Court would have been very much a qualitative no. But after what they did with the Kings, which is why we have the No Kings protests, it's like, oh God, if you guys will carve out stuff for him on that, you'll carve out stuff for him on everything.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh,
It
sorry.
really makes me proud of America, though.
Yes, finally, people are realizing that there is no savior that is going to come in and save you. You have to take action.
Right.
You have to actually be involved in it. And it doesn't mean that you get violent. It doesn't mean that you get too loud or whatever. Peaceful protest is sometimes speaks louder than any megaphone.
Right. But with that man that's killed those people knocking on their door like I'll tell you what, I got my stuff locked and loaded, ready to go. I don't answer my door at all. And then I would call 911 and ask if there was actually a police officer at my door. Let me talk a big shot. Nobody ever comes to my door.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to use I'm trigger happy.
You know what? It's fire the warning shot. If you happen to get in the way, oh well.
Oh well.
I tried to warn you.
Yeah, no, it's just terrible. But these are the cray-crays that are running on the red side. I'm not saying we don't have crazy people on this side either, but they really do horrible things.
They do, and I was saying yesterday on the show that I did with Allie, if you are so strong in your conviction that you want to go out there and kill someone because you disagree with them,
yes,
at least have the cojones to stand there after you've killed them and say, yes, I did. Yeah. And this is why I did it. Right? Don't go in there based on your emotion and so on. Do something horrible and then run away. That's what a coward does.
Yeah.
If you believe that strongly in what you're doing, then stand there and take your
I need to also make an announcement. I heard from one of my people say, Ron, unconditional love.
Hey.
I just want to tell you guys that I had said that the daughter of the female congresswoman speaker, she put her body over her mom. I got the wrong one. It was the senator's house. Yeah. That mother put her body over her daughter. Right. And fortunately, the mom lived and the daughter lived too.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
But this guy shot the congressman's dog, her beloved dog.
Yes. Why? Did the dog survive and later get put down, or did the dog?
Yes, the dog survived, but it was so bad that and probably better because that poor dog living without. But it was so sad, just absolutely. And boy, you can really see the stress on Waltz. You can really see how he's broken with this.
Yes, absolutely. And that, I don't understand that level of cruelty in people. I just can't wrap my brain around it.
Speaking of cruelty, Christy Nome is in the hospital.
Yeah, she had some allergic reaction to
she swallowed an eyelash.
You just swallowed an eyelash.
I was gonna go Marina's way with that one.
But you know what? Think about all the pressure she's under, and all the hatred. When people don't like you, you may walk around like you're queen for a day, but eventually it's gonna create some unwellness, and that's what I think. She's really overwhelmed right now.
Yeah.
And I bet you.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say maybe the missing money that she's being grilled on for her agency, and the fact that they're outspending their budget has nothing to do with that either, right?
They're switching over to the DOJ. Did you hear? She ran out of money, so now the DOJ is in charge and having to use their money to support her. And there was somebody talking about her being in their neighborhood, and they said she came out with all her people, and she has an actual makeup and hair people there taking care of her that we pay for.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Well, yeah, you're paying for the president to be golfing for hours and hours a day.
Yeah.
So So
Marina, I've got a major arcana reading here on the Supreme
Okay.
Court. So I've got a start with the Empress. Taking care of your people. It's for the benefit of everybody. Underneath it, the main clarifier is the Justice card, but we have to do justice. And I'm going to start getting near David's reading now. The other two clarifiers are you've got the High Priestess, you got the Wisdom, and you got to ask the right questions. But you've also got the Moon card. I think, like today's point, there might be three justices that are a little confused as to what the Constitution says, because there's going to be 3 cups spilt over because of this, and it's a betrayal of and sorrow about the state of the Supreme Court.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with David on that one.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's almost like we're psychically linked, or we've got this.
I know. It's weird.
Somebody just wrote that Christy Nome is having a breakdown, suicidal watch. And, you think, well, I haven't heard that. But may I say real quick, who's hospitalized for an allergic reaction unless she went into anaphylactic shock?
Yeah.
Who is hospitalized? Hey, listen, especially when we were kids, you could be dead and they'd say, walk it off.
Yes.
Who gets hospitalized? And she wouldn't want to be in the hospital. Something's going on. Just FYI.
Yeah. Something is. You know what? My feeling is that a lot of them, the strong, Trump supporters, they are seeing the results of their actions and the things that they've said. It's like the chickens have come home to roost, and
Right.
that terrifies them, and it should.
Right.
And it should. So, all righty. Well, as most of you know, Trump came up here to Canada for the G7, and made.
I heard you guys can still smell it.
Yes, actually.
We apologize.
Yes. So he was here for possibly 12 hours before he took off. He didn't even stay for the dinner. And rumor has it, and I have no idea if this is true or not, or how I can fact check it or anything else, but rumor has it that the other 6 leaders were going to have a talk with him. And we're going to kind of point out some truths to him. And what did he do? He did a taco. Out the door.
Also, he didn't want as it was your prime minister?
Yes.
Stopped him in midstream of him lying to everyone while talking about the parade. And then he said Trudeau was the reason Putin got kicked out, and Trudeau wasn't even in office. So he said, well, we need to end this now.
Yeah.
This guy's making an ass out of himself.
Yeah, exactly. And I have, that man has made me proud on more than one occasion.
Oh,
when he has stepped in and acted like a leader and said, no, not going to do that.
I'm very proud of Canada. Canada's doing a great job.
Yeah. I'm thrilled with Carney. I'm thrilled. So, but what I'd like to know is, is there any truth to that rumor?
Okay.
Yeah, he
that one will cost you $5.99 plus tax.
Yes. Yes.
I'll tell you, I don't leave nothing if I don't get the dinner.
Totally.
You probably have McDonald's on the flight.
Absolutely. Okay.
What is the reason that he left within 12 hours? Was it really the Middle East? Because they said he was very disturbed with them, and that could be even they were going to have that talk. He thought, oh, hell no.
Yeah, I think they might have wanted to. Oh,
What?
Ooh, interesting.
What'd you get?
I got shadow operation,
Yeah.
that it was going to be a targeted attack
Ooh.
under the guise of the facade of goodwill,
Ooh.
and they were going to force his hand.
Wow. Do you feel okay, David?
Yeah, I was. I'm just trying to interpret these cards here.
Oh, okay, because you look like you were a little bit like
No,
you're
that's
going, whoa,
pondering.
whoa, is
Sorry.
Uh,
so those are excellent. You want me to go ahead because I got
Yes,
the same
please.
type of
Yes.
deck.
Somebody, the other thing, I'm sorry, Linda, to interrupt. Somebody had posted up a comment that Stephen Miller had replaced Christy Nome. So I'd also gone to my phone real quick just to see if there's any news on that. The only notice they had is that apparently there's quite the rivalry between the two, but I don't think it's a rivalry of we should help brown people versus get rid of them. It's like how quickly should we get rid of them? What's the best way to be the most miserable human being ever?
And also, Stephen Miller overrode Trump when he said, no, we're going to not do the restaurants. We're not going to do the farms. And you notice how that changed? That was Stephen Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got strategic planning, which fits.
Yes.
Surprise attack. So was it attack in Iran or was it the attack that their controlled narrative? He can't hold his ability to pay attention for longer than a couple of minutes. He was not, they weren't bowing to the king, so he was done with them.
Yeah. I think that your card could the one card could go either way. I think that the second one that you pulled, it could have been because what was happening in the Middle East, it that could have just been a really good excuse.
Yeah.
You know, I have to go put out another fire.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I found the article.
Thought of is a great one. And this new king's really affected him. I don't care who you are or what you say. And there's going to be another big march coming up. And let me tell you, they're going to get bigger.
yes.
Okay, so I found the article. It's on MSN. It says that Kristi Noem demoted to, quote, PR person as Stephen Miller runs DHS ex-insider. So basically, remember back in Trump's first term, there was a guy that had an anonymous resistance op-ed on Trump's first term. His name was Miles Taylor. And basically, he says that Stephen Miller is the one who really controls the Department of Homeland Security. And she's that Kristi Noem is basically a mouthpiece for the agenda. So this is someone that's been on the inside that's coming out saying that this is what's actually happening behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, I totally believe it.
Yeah. What'd you get, David?
I got a bunch of major arcana. And the contemplation was, because the question I was asking myself is, what's the story going on with Trump and the G7? I got the Lover's card as the foundation of the reading. So it's like, okay, is that Trump? Is it the Middle East? That's the G7, or 6 of the 7. Yeah. And center underneath it is the 3 of Cups, which I'm going to take as a unity card. Yeah. They're coming together as, it's a collective coming together. And what do we have? We have the Hanged Man and the High Priestess. I think they were going to let them know, we know your secrets, and we'll let everybody else know your secrets unless you get in line. Why do I say that? Underneath is the Death card.
Oh,
I think it's like you're trying to keep a secret from your siblings. We could call it like the Brady Bunch breaking the vase with the basketball or the football now. And it's like all the siblings have now figured out who broke the vase, Peter. And or Bobby, I forget who it was.
Yeah, it was Peter.
Was it Peter? It's like, we're going to tell mom and dad what you did unless you fall in line and you start doing what we tell you to do when we tell you to do it. And I guess it's kind of like if he doesn't hear it, it didn't happen. La, 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 la. Don't hear you. You got to go. You can't go through on your thread if you don't threaten me.
And I love that our beloved Zelensky was sitting in his seat.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
at the table. Zelensky was sitting right where Trump would have sat, and he got the dinner.
Yes.
I've got a similar reading, Marina. I had never even considered that this might have been a thing, but Foundation was the Nine of Swords. You are creating such a headache for us.
Yes.
And then you got the Six of Pentacles. Six of us agree what's beneficial, and we're going to drop some advice, couple of nuggets of advice to you.
Yes.
You're charging around, rushing around recklessly, and creating chaos, and maybe you need to just chill out just a little bit, because we're not happy with the decisions you're making and how you're impacting people. You smug bastard.
Okay.
Yes.
May I also say real quick, Marie, she said something I just want to add. I'll look it up later. She's saying that Venice is blocking the canals for Bezos' wedding.
Oh, interesting.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Interesting. Okay. And Ness says, will Tim Kaine be successful to pass Congress to limit war powers of Trump?
Thank you, Robert. What was? Oh, this is Tim Kaine.
Yeah.
Not Walsh,
Yes.
Tim Kaine.
Yeah. Tim Kaine. Will he be successful in doing that? And yeah.
Was that Hillary's running partner?
Very generous of you.
Was it Hillary's running mate back in 2016? Is that the right person? Shouldn't be asking Marina. Canadian politics here. Gosh, David, there's only a way. Let me grab my little supercomputer.
Yes. 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 Hillary. Hillary Clinton running mate. Okay.
Yeah, it was Tim Kaine. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just going to pull a single card on this one. That's a yes or no question.
Yeah.
And this one. Crap. Page of Pentacles. Will he? I think he gets it started. He gets the conversation started.
But it doesn't go through yet.
It looks like it's early on in this one.
Yeah.
And it might just be that they don't take it up.
Yeah, they'll keep pushing all the Dems on the back burner for now. But, he's going to, once the hair on the heads of our military get hurt, there's a price to pay.
Yeah, I'm getting the Knight of Swords that maybe this is just happening so fast that Congress can't keep up with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I get it's for the time being. Yeah, it's classified information, and they're only going to do something if their hand is forced hand. Otherwise
they won't.
Yeah. No, they won't. They're going to jump off the cliff, and they're going to be they're going to go down with him.
They're going to go. He's and that budget too.
Oh,
terrible. Somebody said that there was Republicans who were crying and screaming, but yet they still voted for it because they knew it was the end of their career.
Well, that's when you got to look yourself in the mirror.
Well, you got a choice. It's like Ray said, you got a choice. How do you want to go out? You want to go out as the person that did this and caused so much harm, or do you want to go out the person that stood up for the common man and hey, I can't run again, but at least I stood up for my convictions.
Yes,
exactly. And there's a lot of them. I think they can see that their hold on power is waning. They are on their way out.
But somebody on the news today said that Netanyahu, also known as Bibi, he holds the cards for most of the senators. They all got the Israel signs on their doors. So I guess they can't. They're making fat money off of Israel. He holds more cards than Trump.
I wouldn't be surprised. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised. Trump has no clue what he's doing from 1 hour to the next.
No, he's
Yeah.
he's tactical as hell. He doesn't have a plan. He just reacts.
No.
That's why Stephen Miller is in hog heaven, because he's worse than he was before. And
Yeah.
Steve Miller is running the whole show.
Yes.
Little pipsqueak.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All righty. Let me just double check and see if there was anything else here that I missed.
Sherry,
anyone-
thank you, honey. I accidentally wrote you asking for the link. Sorry about that.
Yes. All right. So, you guys, we're at 55 minutes, and I don't want to keep Linda longer than that, because I do want to be able to invite her back.
Because I
So,
do need my beauty sleep.
yeah.
And oh, I know what that okay was. We were
What?
talking about Patrick's ghosts of Patrick Swayze visiting you in your little
Oh my
little room off
God.
on the side where you throw the clay.
And it was a man's voice, and he said,
Yeah, and he
okay.
said okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh,
Well, that's not a fun time.
Well,
Linda
Linda
has
G,
to be-
time's a wasting.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Those
Maybe-
people who missed it, I was talking, and all of a sudden, while I was talking, the phone says okay. And
Yeah.
just like I was reading a woman, it's in my book, and when I was reading her, we heard my phone talking on my dresser down the end of my room. So I got up and went over to the dresser. She heard it too, and it said, "In our realm, anything is possible."
Wow.
And I took a
Wow.
screenshot of it, and I still have it.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you, all of you, for joining us. We were at 5,056.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you go over to Gary's channel and David's channel and Linda's channel. Give them a like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. That always gets the message out in front of people who want to hear what we have to say. They just don't know who we are. Linda, everybody knows who Linda is, but in our case,
Yeah. And listen, you guys that are sending me links, something's happened with my phone, and it's a brand new phone. So I was going to go to Apple today, but I didn't feel well enough. I'll go tomorrow. But I'm having a hard time loading up anything. So just FYI.
oh, all right.
So,
Well, there
Marina,
you go.
you do personal readings for people?
Yes.
Anyone out
Yes,
there that
I
might
do.
not be aware?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
'cause
do. And if
I do get people in the comments asking if Dave and I do personal readings, and we do not, but I do refer them to you if they are interested in it. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. Best thing to do is you can reach out to me. Look, here's my website. It's marinasheartcentertarot.com. You can go on there. You can see what's available for readings. You can see what classes are available. Sign up for any of that, or send me an email direct at heartcentertarot@outlook.com. And I'll be more than glad to fill you in with all kinds of information. So,
Somebody just wrote that Annette Brecca said that, what's her name? The one with the strip of hair she looks like
Dulce Gabbard?
Kelsey, that she said she would step down, and she will too. Once they hit a run, she's going to step down.
and
It was fun being here, you guys. Thank you so much.
thank you, Don. Thank you, David. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Linda. Thank
much,
you,
folks.
everyone, for being here with us. And we'll catch you
you all.
next time. Take care. Bye for
Thank
Good
now.
night, everyone.